How to actually become consistent. Popular entrepreneurs, YouTubers, actors, and musicians confirm that consistency is the key to success in any niche. And in this video, I will tell you about the exact thoughts that hinder you from being consistent and how to overcome them once and for all. The first thought, I'm not creative enough. Social media is filled with creative people. They have so many unique and effective ideas. You think that ideas just come to them without any effort, but you believe that you can't do the same because you think that you were born uncreative. I have faced this thought in the past, and here's how I dealt with it. Solution: I realized that all creative people use these 3 clever techniques. Firstly, they often borrow ideas from others. Let's admit it, it's much easier to take someone else's idea, improve upon it, and turn it into a new product than to start from scratch completely on your own. Secondly, they constantly develop themselves in different areas. A talented person is talented in everything. Look at celebrities. Hardly any of them stick to the same thing their whole life. They love to experiment. When your interests are diverse, it becomes easier to keep your mind sharp. Thirdly, they practice divergent thinking, which is a creative approach that involves generating multiple solutions to the same problem. Living an extraordinary life, they are faced with complex questions and have to provide intricate answers because their situation is truly unique. One of my previous videos may also help you deal with this. It's impossible. People tend to be afraid of everything new and unknown. This happens because when we find ourselves in an unfamiliar situation, our brains activate survival mechanisms. Our distant ancestors existed in a hostile environment, constantly struggling for survival in unpredictable conditions for hundreds of thousands of years. Today, we live in a much calmer world. However, the instinct still persists. It still perceives threats in any new ideas and seeks to suppress them. Solution: once upon a time, airplanes were considered inefficient for civilian aviation. Today, they transport over 12 million people daily. Internet commerce seemed unpromising 30 years ago, and now billions of dollars circulate online. These changes didn't happen overnight. Individual people found alternative uses for existing things. This is exactly what you need to do too. But there will be no simple solution here. You'll have to face the challenges. At the beginning of the journey to achieving consistency, this is necessary. For example, have you ever thought that drawing is not for you? Spend a couple of weeks studying this to prove that nothing is impossible. You should also take a few minutes to check out my insanely effective practice that will create a strong inner state in you. What results will you get? You'll remove the victim state of mind. People will treat you with respect. Girls will start to feel your strong mentality. Testosterone level will go to the moon. And that's just a part of what you'll gain after completing it. By the way, it costs the same as 2.5 pizzas, and it's definitely worth it. I've always been inconsistent. Our psychology often falls into the trap of fixed negative thinking. This means that we primarily remember our failures. Think back to that time when you finally started going to the gym but quit after just 2 months for unclear reasons. It always starts out fun, but then routine sets in and you quit again. Solution: here, quantity is more important than quality. I'm talking about the number of consecutive days. Let's take guitar lessons as an example. It's much more effective if you dedicate 10 minutes every day for months rather than 6 hours only once in a week. To overcome fixed thinking, you need to constantly prove to yourself that you can be consistent, even through the smallest actions you take every day. And remember, life is not a sprint, but a marathon. What will others think? Some individuals truly struggle to remain productive without receiving social approval along the way. One of the biggest misconceptions is that a good idea will automatically garner approval. In reality, it is you who needs approval, not necessarily the idea itself, which may never come to fruition. Solution: seek internal satisfaction, not external approval. None of the great individuals who presented revolutionary ideas in any field relied on the opinions of others. The exception, of course, are experts capable of pointing out obvious mistakes and offering genuinely helpful advice. The response of an ordinary person isn't interesting because it's completely predictable. They say, don't venture into the unknown, just do what everyone else does. This advice is too simplistic and will only lead to one result: continue to live the same miserable lifestyle as everyone else. Be consistent. Hey dear fellow, my name is Aiden. I see you love self-development as much as I do, so please consider subscribing and smashing the like button. I've created another video special for you, guess you'll enjoy it.